What's up, muscle car people? This is Bring Up Muscle Cars, and I'm Quinn. Today, we're doing another installment for Fiesta Friday, and we will be tackling, installing Swift Spec R lowering springs.
That 2 seconds of falling was...
I know.
Because that's not a spot you want it to fall.
Where'd it go?
Probably bounced all the way in the back. Don't worry, we'll get it later.
And there's your strut. All there is to it. Nice. Okay guys, we got the strut out. And what we're doing for this job is we have to reuse the old top hats. I probably should have gotten new ones, but it is what it is. So I have my spring compressors here. You can rent these from any AutoZone or Advanced Auto, or you can just be like me and rent them and then never return them and then basically buy them, but whatever. So they charge you to rent them, and then I just never return them, so I never got my deposit back, but oh well, here we are. So I'm gonna compress this spring. I'm going to stay out of the way of this death trap, and let's see how we go. Back and forth. Keep it relatively even. And now that we have the spring compressed, we can remove our top hat. Okay guys, the top nut on the top hat was pretty tight, and it was spinning the top hat while I was trying to do it. So what I wound up doing is putting a breaker bar here like this to wedge it, and then using this large 1/2-inch drive ratchet to break it loose. After I broke it loose, I was able to just use a drill, take the nut out, and out comes the top hat and your dust guard and bump stop. Alright, so I have this death trap assembled. We have the springs compressed. Jared's going to hand me or I'll get it myself because he's basically useless. The dust shield, we're going to slide that down through, and our top hat will go back on like so, and then we have our nut here that will thread on.
Got the purple one there.
Interesting. It looks like I'll have to hold this stem here while tightening down the nut. I don't know what that is, but we'll find out. So I've got a 9mm that's going to be used to hold the shaft, and then my 18, which I'll be using to tighten this down. A pass-through set would be phenomenal. I have this.
That's what they always say right before.
Okay guys, that wraps up the install for the lowering spring. As you can see, we're doing it in conjunction with these conies. And then we'll move on to the back then. Okay guys, we're moving on to the rear now. We're going to do the rear spring installation. It's pretty easy. There's not much to it. There's just a single 15mm bolt on the back here. You don't have to worry about the other side or anything. It's connected to a welded nut. So this will loosen it up first.
Yeah, impact not doing too hot today.
No. That's like 0 for 2.
Battery might be dead.
It's on 2.
Come on, Ray 80.
I really tightened them down last time.
Keep going.
It's pinched. I'm gonna jack it up a little bit.
If you...
Now that both bolts are out, we're gonna slowly lower the rear axle. You can see it dropped a fair amount. just enough for us to hopefully take these springs out without a compressor. Okay, as you can see down here, there's a little hole. That is where this peg is going to go. Spring. This will probably require 2 people. Yeah, basically that's the end of it. Well, just stop recording. Because I can't do, I gotta do this other side. I've opted to upgrade these bushings, so we have another video on this, on installing these, but these are the PowerFlex mounts. All you have to do is locate, there's a hole up in here, you just pop that on, like that, and now we can take our lowering spring and start to seat it in the back of the car. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly jack up this axle. Actually, that one will stay there, kind of. And I'm going to do the other side a while. And our 15mm screw back in. Just like so. Do the same thing to the other side. It's like the past 2 times we've come here and working on the Fiesta, it's just been like so much stuff. It's really coming a long way. You ever wish you could like take your modified car and like, you know, for one day drive it stock again? Just to see how big of a difference everything made? Well, you know, just to compare.
You can just drive my car.
I'm sure we can find a stock Fiesta.
Yeah, Jared's. Okay guys, so we installed the conies and the springs today. And you may be wondering what type of springs I went with. I went with a Swift Spec R, and I did that for a reason. Number one is they are the most track-proven lowering spring. Lowering springs by no means are your best option in terms of suspension upgrades, but for me, daily driving the car, it's the option that seemed most right for me. Now, these springs will only lower the car about 1 inch, which is important because the Coney dampers that we put on are valved to work within a certain range. So they will work within that lowering range that we're in, only 1 inch. If you go lower than that, you'll probably be blowing them out in a couple thousand miles. So just something to keep in mind if you're doing a modification like this. Okay guys, that wraps up the rear spring install. Wasn't hard at all. 2 15mm bolts and they pop right in there. So big shout out to Ron at Whoosh Motorsports. We've got a lot of stuff from him. He may be supporting the channel here soon. Can't wait for that. And thanks so much for watching these videos. Click that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, and as always, if you have a fast car, you better bring it.
Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. I'm going to link a couple more videos that if you like this one and you made it all the way to the end, you're going to definitely like these. So watch them. Also, that middle button right there, I think is probably, you know, somewhere in there. Hit that button to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more action.